Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. I thought I would do an updated why I went to jail video. I'm not sure what this is going to look like or how this is going to play out or anything like that. I'm just sharing from my experience in case you guys are in the same boat as I am or whatever it may be. And I felt like maybe if I shared my story that it would make you guys feel alone if you're in the same situation I am. I'm going to get very deep and personal in this video, and I'm not making this video to shame anyone or hate on anyone, and I'm just sharing from my experience and things like that. And I don't want people to look at me like I'm a bad person or that I'm a troublemaker. Like, we all make mistakes in life, but that doesn't mean we're always a troubled person or anything like that. And I apologize if this video is long. Grab yourself a drink, something to eat, stick around for a little while. I got myself a Dr. Pepper. If you know me, I'm a sucker for Dr. Pepper. Anything Dr. Pepper, shirt, pants, whatever. I like anything Dr. Pepper, even the drink, of course. But I'm gonna go back to my file. This is all the paperwork that I have in this, and envelopes and papers. But I have it sorted out of where I want to start and things like that, just so you can get like a backstory of what the cops are saying, and from this report to what actually has been going on for 5-6 years, to where it all led up to that. And I don't know, it's just it hurts me to talk about it, but I feel like talking about it helps in a sense. But I just don't want to get in trouble for reading it, reading the police statement, if I'm allowed to or not. But I just want to get my story out there and from my point of view. And I know they have their own point of view and what happened and things like that, but I just thought I'd share my side of the story. And it is going to get pretty lengthy, so I hope you guys can stick around with me. And if you want any more videos, comment down below what you'd like to see, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you join the family and like this video. Now let's just get into it. This was back in, I believe, January of 22, so almost 2 years ago now. I got arrested on the 1st of January, and it was probably 4:30 in the morning. We were all hanging out, relaxing, chilling, having, a couple drinks and whatnot, and food and things like that on New Year's Eve. And it just was, in a sense, toxic altogether anyways, before it even started. And it was where we were all drinking and we all knew it, but the thing is because they were all family, and I was kind of like the outcast of the family, of like, I wasn't part of the family, that it was like I always did something wrong, and they'd always believe their family member over the person that was from the outside, and everything. But I thought I would share it. But this also did happen in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not sure if that means anything, but basically, from what this says is, upon arrival, I made contact with my ex's cousin's husband, and stated that Megan, me, had battered his wife and my kid's dad, and the complainant advised that the suspect had been drinking throughout the day and was belligerent, even though the fact that it never was stated that all of us were drinking except for the husband. And yet it never made a point in here of all of us were drinking except for the husband. And why was that not stated in here? Why was it that it was only made out to be that I was the one drinking throughout the day, even though all of us were drinking throughout the day? How come that was never in here? And yeah, it makes it out to be like I was the bad person, even though all of us were drinking. And then it says that he overheard the suspect engaging in verbal argument with my ex in the bedroom of the apartment. Shortly after, the complainant heard the victim, I'm guessing his husband or not his husband, his wife, screaming at each other. The complainant went to the bedroom and observed that the wife had pinned the suspect to the ground, meaning pinned me to the ground. And yet, why was it that it was only things about me? It was never about like anyone else other than what I was doing or what I was doing wrong. But yet, why wasn't anything said about what they were doing? Why was it about me? After the suspect, after he separated his wife and me, he saw bite marks on her pinky, even though she was the one that was on top of me, and I was trying to be let go, and I do take blame for that. But the thing is I was defending myself by getting her off of me. How else was I supposed to sit there and get her off of me if I was, kicking my legs, using my arms to get her off of me? What else was I supposed to do, And the complainant said he called the police shortly after, which that was true. I could hear him after he got his wife off me, and I love his wife to death. She's a sweetheart. The one that I have a problem with is my ex's mom, because she always hated me since day one of meeting me, and yet didn't know anything about me, and then just started drama when me and Alora moved up to Jacksonville. It was like instantly I could tell that that my ex's cousin could tell that his mom hated me for no reason, and putting up with her drinking, continuously getting drunk and always smoking and always causing drama. And I was always trying to be nice, but the thing is you can only take so much that it's like you can't just help but ignore it all the time. And then it also says I spoke with my ex, and he said that Mr. Johnson explained that the suspect had been drinking throughout the day and would engage in verbal arguments with his mom, even though that's not true, because how do I put it? They still go back to that made it seem like I was the only one drinking. Where is it in there that they were drinking? And that's where I'm so confused, because why does it go back to me drinking? They didn't sit there and say, oh, she was drinking and he was drinking. It says that I was drinking throughout the day, pretty much blaming everything on me. And yet, that's the thing I don't like, is people sitting there ganging up on someone when yet they were doing the same thing of drinking or, let's say, smoking or whatever it may be. But yet, the thing is they want to put it on just one person because they don't like that person or because of whatever it is. And then it says that he overheard the suspect call his mom a bitch, and the suspect would tell him to take her side. But the thing is I have always told him that he's always taken his mom's side and that he never would stick up for me, ever. And yet he would always say he loved me. But the thing is if you love someone, even if it's family, you would still stick up for them if you love them. And yet, it was never okay at all. And then it also says he and the suspect began a verbal altercation which carried into the bedroom of the apartment, which we were having a little disagreement, and that's all it was. It never was verbal of like sitting there calling each other names or anything. I asked him if we could go in the bedroom because I did not feel comfortable sitting there having a discussion with him, with his family there, because I knew his mom would sit there and just record everything, because that's what she always did, was record every little thing. For what reason, I don't know why, whether it be because she hated me or because of something else in her past. And it just sucks, because it's like, I try to keep my, like, disagreements, or, like, I don't want to say arguments, but, like, disagreements to me and that person, not me and the person and everyone else. That's why I had asked if we could go to the bedroom. And then it says, when Mr. Johnson told the suspect that he would not take her side, he immediately said she became irritable. But, like, the thing is like, I just didn't understand why it seemed like what he was saying was that, you know, like, he made it seem like he was taking her side and whatnot. And then it says that Mr. Johnson advised the suspect lunge towards him and bit him on the forearm, even though I never sat there and touched him whatsoever, and I never made a lunge towards him. And I don't know if that was like a thing to sit there and try to get me in trouble or whatever, even though the fact that I know that I would never sit there and just lunge at someone for any reason. And it also says that sorry about that, guys. But as I was saying, I felt like they were sitting there, you know, against me the entire time. And even before this happened, we had went camping a couple days before it. And, you know, they kept sitting there saying, you're not part of this family, and or that this isn't your family type of thing, and that I should just go back to Florida, but Alora stays here, even though my ex's cousin's daughter had sat there and told me, just when I went up there that first day, sat there and told me, hey, like, they're trying to take Alora from you, and they don't want you in the picture, and everything like that. And I should have believed it, because, I mean, look at now, like, they sit there and have Alora, and I have no contact with her at all, and acting like I'm this monster. And yet, I don't think what they're doing is right, because I feel bad for her in the future, because she's not going to know both parents at all. Like, she's going to know just their side, and then, like, hate on me because they're feeding her these lies and whatnot. And I feel really bad, because I don't get pictures of her. I don't get to call her. I don't get to FaceTime her. I've made numerous of times to call and try to send her things and whatnot. And even my mom has tried to send her things, and, like, it always ends up getting sent back, and I always get blocked on, you know, whether it's social media or by text to contact her. And it's like, they would hate if I did that to them. They would sit there and threaten to take me to court. But yeah, the thing is yeah, it's okay for them to do it to me. And it sucks. And I have my, like, little thing I want to sit there and say about it, because people don't understand that there's a backstory to it, and they only want to believe what she says, but they don't realize how bad she actually was, and making me look like I'm this horrible, terrible, mean person. And I just don't want any hate or anything like that, because I'm just sharing my story and things like that. But I just wanted to say, it started back in December of 2017, where Aaron and I had just started dating and moved in together. We were happy, working, hanging out with each other, and every couple of days we'd go see his mom at her boyfriend's. Then it became where she was drinking heavily at her boyfriend's house, and he wanted her to move out because her drinking had gotten so bad. And since she had nowhere to go, we had an extra room in the apartment. Aaron told her she could move in, and even though I wasn't comfortable with it, because he didn't even talk to me about it, he just was like, oh yeah, you can stay in the room. But yet don't you think that's a lack of communication in a relationship and whatnot? And that should have been a red flag for me, sitting there like to like leave him, even though I just chose to stay and whatnot. And then she moved in and I helped her hang up her clothes, put away her dishes and everything. Then she started her drinking habit again after she moved in with us. And we had told her it can't be every single night. And she seemed to be okay with it at first, and then it turned into like just a couple days later she didn't even care or respect it. And when she would drink, she would get nasty. She would call me names like retarded, stupid, slut, hoe, cunt, and bitch, and would make faces. And many times would manipulate her son to think I was a bad person and would tell me that he didn't want me there either and to pack my stuff and leave. And yet maybe I should have just left because I wasn't going to put up with him not communicating with me, for one, and two, her continuously drinking, because I had, before I met my ex, I had an ex before him that Southern was drinking heavily and would almost, in a sense, hit me, and I just didn't want to put up with that. And that went on for years. Then we had our daughter, Laura. She was controlling over her. Like, she would sit there and just grab her out of my hands like it was nothing. I didn't ask for help or anything. And like, she acted like she needed to just step in and help, even though I didn't ask for help. Because for me, as a new mom, I don't want help unless I ask for it. And she didn't respect that. And when I say controlling, she would overstep in areas when I would say, I got it, then she would get mad and say, mad at me for saying, she would get mad at me for saying I got it. Then she moved up to Jacksonville with her niece and her kids and her husband. Then the cousin said that her drinking had slowed down a little bit, but she was still drinking a lot at night. Then Aaron moved up there and I moved here to Sarasota with Laura. And then probably I want to say maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month after living here, Laura and I had moved to Jacksonville with his family because Aaron had said, I really miss you. I really miss Laura. I really want you guys up here. And I dropped everything to come up there and live with them. I dropped the job I was getting. I sold my car back in Vero, and I left my family to sit there and go up there and be with them because they really wanted me up there. And when I got up there to Jacksonville, it was fine for a few days. Then his mom started up again where she would call me names and make faces and say things like she shouldn't be here, and would always, whenever she would drink too much, she'd have to go to the bathroom, and she'd leave a little crack in the doorway so that way she could hear. And even the cousin sat there and was like, what's her deal? But yet I was hanging out with her every day talking like nothing was, wrong or anything like that, and it seemed fine. But I don't know if she was just doing that to get information or what. Then she would say things like, you're not going to come in between me and my niece, and I'm going to put a stop to that, even though I sat there and was nice to both of them. We even invited her to go with us to, whether it's getting her a new phone or grocery shopping, whether Aaron could watch, Laura and the kids or whatever. And they spent so much money on his mom of buying her cigarettes and her beer and everything. And she didn't even have a job for 2 months while being up there. And then it says after the week after I got up to Jacksonville, we all went camping. Me, Aaron, Alora, his mom, and his cousin, and her family. And the cousin's husband and the kids, while we were camping and we were all drinking and hanging out, the mom started again, but with calling names and making faces and talking to the cousin about me. During the time we were camping, the cousin started to say to me that I was not part of the family, and just because I'm Alora's mom doesn't make me part of the family. And then the mom comes in and says I should start walking back to Sarasota because I don't belong there with them, even though the night before they came to pick me up, pick Laura and I up, they were excited for both of us to come up to Jacksonville. Also, while I was still in Vero at the apartment, and they came up to his mom, the two oldest were telling me that Aaron's mom was keeping secrets and that they were trying to take Laura away from me and wanted me out of her life. And yeah, for me, that really hurts because I thought that, Aaron really loved me. I thought that, he would have grown up and been like, hey, like, let's make this work. And he always kept telling me, I'm tired of my mom drinking, but yet would sit there and still, allow her to drink or allow her, like, talk to me this way and never stick up for me. And that's what happened leading up, like, all those years, was it being her drinking, her getting in my face, her sitting there always recording whether Aaron and I had, like, a disagreement, she'd record it and everything, like I was some bad person. And like he had his mom, I had no one. I was there by myself. Like, I had no one defending me or no one on my side. And yeah, I just hope this all makes sense or helps you in some way. And just don't forget to like, subscribe, and I would love to have you join the family. And I would love to make any videos you guys would like to see. Leave them down below.